multi-billion-dollar economic relationship between the US and Japan is a valuable one to both countries. And US Vice President Mike Pence wants to keep their bond strong.
Today we're beginning a process of an economic dialogue, the end of which may result in bilateral trade negotiations in the future. But we're beginning that conversation today, beginning to identify areas that we can enhance and strengthen the economic interaction between our two nations.
Japan is America's fourth biggest trading partner, with total trade hitting around $195 billion in 2016. And it's the US's second largest foreign direct investor, after the UK, investing around $400 billion annually.
The Prime Minister Abe and Deputy Prime Minister Aso share our goal of a mutually beneficial economic relationship. And we look forward to working with them through the U.S.-Japan Economic Dialogue to achieve our vision of an equal partnership.
The two countries have agreed to work together on a number of issues, including easing entry regulations for foreign firms in the financial and retail sectors. But the US's trade deficit with Japan is a concern, ballooning to $69 billion last year. And Tokyo is rumored to be reluctant to fully open its auto and agricultural sectors in any bilateral agreement with the US. When the US walked away from the Trans-Pacific Partnership in January, the ambitious deal seemed to be dead in the water. A blow to Japanese President Shinzo Abe, who had used vast political capital to get the pact passed at home. But Japan might be looking to adopt trade rules that can be applied across the Pacific region, pushing back against the wave of protectionism spearheaded by the Trump presidency.
The United States and Japan have agreed to cooperate to move to correct the unfair trade practices of the region.
The Vice President's visit comes amid growing tensions between North Korea and Asian countries, including Japan, as Pyongyang continues to conduct nuclear missile tests. And Pence has reaffirmed the US's support to its allies in the region. Both countries have agreed to another round of this economic dialogue before the end of the year. Adefemi Akinsanya, TRT World.
Well, Dr. Seijiro Takeshita is the Dean of the School of Management and Information at the University of Shizuoka in Japan. He says Japan has a long way to go before getting a trade deal that it will be happy with.
Japan needs to do two things. One is that they would have to take the initiative in leading the TPP now that U.S. has walked away, especially like countries like Malaysia and Vietnam are certainly walking away now that U.S. is not going to join. We need to sustain this momentum of free trade in this area. So obviously Japan has to take the lead. At the same time, Japan has to think very seriously about the bilateral negotiation with the United States, because with the United States, it certainly isn't only trade. It's not only the economic issue. As we can see from the turmoil that we're seeing from the North Korean side, it's not only economic, but a lot of political and geopolitical agendas that are involved with the United States and Japan. So Japan really needs to wax up these relationships, bilateral negotiations with the United States, particularly from the military and political means as well. Automobile side, the Japanese are not making any unfair trade. In fact, it's the other way around. The Americans are getting much more of, I'd say, the preferred lane, if I may say, if anything. 2.5%, for example, taxation is imposed on Japanese cars, but there is no tax imposed on American cars that would be imported into Japan. And on goes the list. And also the Japanese auto manufacturers done a great job in transferring quite a lot of their manufacturing base, especially on the automobile component side, to the United States, which is creating immense amount of job. So I think they're doing their homework, but they haven't done their homework, especially on the farming side. And this is what I expected to happen when U.S. was about to join TPP. Now we're having bilateral negotiation. I would hope certainly that they would put pressure to crank open the Japanese closed farming association, for example. This is one area which really needs to be rejuvenated, basically open up from the medieval times into the modern times. And this is one area where it really has to be opened up. So foreign pressure is something that we need to really rejuvenate this sector overall. The farming side, that is.